Now, you've no doubt seen our review of this car overseas, but it has finally touched down here in India. This is the new Mercedes-Benz CLA BEV, and finally in India spec for us to drive very soon. Before that, I'm here to chat with none other than...
Thanks, Gavin.
Thank you, guys. Mr. Santosh Iyer, MD and CEO of Mercedes-Benz India, to talk to us about the CLA, as well as several other things. Santosh, first of all, before we look into the future, a little look into the past, and congratulations on an excellent 2025 at the top.
Yeah, so I think thanks a lot. 2025, anyways, is history now. It's been 2 months, but I think we had a great year, irrespective of all the geopolitical challenges, FX being fluctuating. On the positive side, the GST rate cut really helps boost demand. And a great show in our top end segment with almost 11% odd growth. So I think a lot positives and setting up the base also for this year. This year we already started the year on a very big note with localizing the new GLS Maybach. I think India is the only country outside of US to do that. Again, last 20 days, great demand for that car after the new pricing because of localization. And we following it up with another car at a different segment. Again, a car unlike others, very modern in terms of tech stack, more I would say AI ready than any other car available across segment and across categories, and also a lot that we have done with this car for India as well. So I think quite excited with the new CLA launch now happening very soon and the media drive kicking off today.
Thanks. So you mentioned that some things done for India. Now this car obviously is already quite high demand globally. Yet for India, you've managed a few India-specific changes. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
No, I think it's better to get it right when you get these cars than be sorry. First of all, my colleagues in Bangalore, we have a big R&D setup managed by my colleague Manu. He's, his entire team, a lot of engineers doing a lot of work on MB.OS operating system, trying to already do a lot of testing for Indian road conditions for ADAS, and all giving it back to Germany to incorporate it as much in the car. But more importantly, the Indian road conditions, sedans, ground clearances have to be adjusted. So we are doing something specific for India so that we are able to navigate the roads as well here. So I think a lot thought has gone into making it suitable. On the other side, when it comes to equipment and configurations, no stones unturned. We have packed in with whatever technology as well as content is available in terms of line, in terms of the interiors as well. So I think we want to give one of the best products to the customer, and this is a very different target group as well. We are not targeting, of course, some of them would be their first time entry buyers, but many of them would be sons and daughters of of our existing customers of Mercedes-Benz. The styling is distinctive, if you see, very stunning, iconic design as well, and there used to be this digital native. I can also pride myself saying I'm digital native, but I think today from digital native to AI native, that's a fundamental shift. And this car offers those conversational AI powered by NVIDIA chips inside. And I think that's what we take a lot of pride, and quite happy now this is making debut in India.
Fantastic. And just to further elaborate on what you had just said, you focused on, there was a big focus on TEVs, top end vehicles, but as you said, this is not the other end of the spectrum, so to speak, but it's somewhere in between. Tell us a little bit more about the positioning of this. I mean, it's the size of a C-Class
exactly.
for a start. So where does it really fit in?
No, I think we come from the customer view. As I said, our customers will be either sons and daughters of families already owning luxury cars, or young startup founders and people who want to reward themselves at a very early stage. Some of them directly go to an S-Class, but some of them also like a car which is more tech savvy, next gen, to drive themselves as well. And so it's more coming from those set of customers who just don't want the badge. They want something that can resonate with their own lifestyle, their own feeling. And also, before we launched the car, we also got the charging ecosystem to India. We just announced the MB.Charge initiative for India, wherein the entire charging is powered with AI to make it more seamless. Also, these are all powered with 800 kilowatt charging adaptability. So fast charging, you go to a 240 kilowatt charger, 20 minutes, 400 kilometers. That's the kind of charging speed that the car offers. So more for the restless generation that we have. So our focus is more coming there. When you talk about price point, we would like to price it as aggressive as possible, I would say. But on the other side, we don't want to take content out and do a entry level kind of a pricing. That's not been our strategy always. So we will price it appropriately irrespective of a CBU, because that's our problem. We bring a car as a CBU or a CKD, not the customer's problem.
Yeah.
But the pricing for the customer should be what the market demands, and we have done it for many other car lines as well in the entry in the past. So we will try to do an appropriate, good value-based pricing for the consumer than just an entry-level pricing is all I can say at this stage.
Fair enough, fair enough. That's good. And I know you've answered this question a little while ago, but things have progressed a little bit. I just want to gather your thoughts once again on the India-EU FTA and the potential over the next decade or so for our market.
I think I saw the podcast done by Hormuz. For me, it is textbook. For anybody wanting to know about how an FTA, what's happening, should listen to that podcast. Please convey my compliments to him as well. But you know, I have always been advocating on also as a brand that FTAs are the way to go, because when economies open up, you can trade, money flows in. With money flowing in, per capita GDP should go up, and it has a clear correlation to our luxury car sales as well. So I think that's a very big step. It should help economy. It should help also ease of doing business a bit. We can get these cars a bit more faster. Maybe some of the cars we are anyway localized, most of the car lines in India. So I don't think there will be a big price arbitrage expectation happening out of FTA. But in principally, I think a step in the right direction. And not only the EU FTA, I would say the same, whatever bilateral trade agreement with the US and others, all should have a positive effect for the India growth story.
Fantastic. And also, I think you've mentioned several times before that it's important to price the cars just right to sort of hold on to their residual value and make sure that their longevity is ensured.
Absolutely.
How do you see that going forward with BEVs? I mean, we've had Mercedes-Benz has had a few BEVs already.
Yeah.
The latest one has just joined us. How are you seeing the approach to residual values when it comes to EVs in the luxury segment?
See, firstly, I can easily claim that Mercedes-Benz is a residual value leaders in the luxury car space across segments, across categories as well. But EVs is definitely a different animal. First, honest truth is the new car has to be successful for the residual values to be successful. So, frankly, that's very core. Second is when you talk about design also, you know, let me take the example of the earlier CLA. It may be a combustion engine, but I was in Bangalore, I just landed today, and I met our local CEO, and he told me they traded in a 2017 CLA for 17 lakhs. And that's almost 50% value in 10 years. So, you can clearly see that an iconic design when it is everlasting, because these cars, even the older generation CLA is a stunner. Yeah. So I think that really passes on those genetics, because then the car doesn't become old. And finally, when you do the right pricing and when you're discounting, you know, our dealers don't discount because we run a different retail of the future model, the residual value can be maintained. So I think all these three factors, new car demand, styling, what kind of equipment the car has, and finally the discounts, you know, it's a short-term game. In the long run, customer loses the residual value.
That's fair enough. Well, we look forward to this car, to driving it very soon, and also to see how it performs out on the road here in India. But congratulations.
Thanks a lot once again.
Thank you for having us. We had a great time checking out your car.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.